Hey my friends, how's it going? It's Ultimus, and today I thought we would take a break from looking at kind of our normal stuff, talking Legion, goods, bad, pros, cons, all that kind of stuff, and deviate away to something that is slightly less traditional on the front of what we normally cover here on the channel as far as World of Warcraft is concerned. I purchased myself a copy of Chronicle. I'm very, very excited about this book. So I thought I would share my first impressions of it with you guys, and if you were interested in purchasing it, whether or not it might be still something that you are now interested in. It is hardcover. They do have a digital version, but stuff like this is, at least in my opinion, worth having actual tangible hard copy of. It is hardbound, so keep in mind with that as you go for that. The cover itself is actually very well done. I enjoy it. The textures, it's very soft, polished. Can't really see it too well because of the glare from my computer screen. Let me try this actually. Let's turn you off, BenQ. We have still kind of hard to see and stuff like that. But if you're up front with the book, you can see there's some of those decorations and decals there on the back. Very similar to a compass. Etchings, runes, all that kind of cool stuff on the front of it, and even just that front, kind of some menacing artwork there on the front. If you really want to get down to it, looks like what might potentially be Medivh. Not necessarily familiar with who the artwork is on the front, I'm not gonna lie, but and then looks like there's some Sargeras stuff going on there behind him. So either way, it's pretty cool. Definitely a dreadlord of sorts, something Legion, since the Legion is kind of the ultimate evil when it comes to Warcraft. But even in the front there, when you first open it up, you've got this really, really cool map there of what the original continent used to look like. So basically, I wasn't really sure what I was what to expect when I purchased the book. I was hoping for artwork, not completely artwork, but some artwork, and I was not disappointed. All throughout the book, there's sketchings and concept art and things like that scattered throughout and stuff like that. Like at the front right here again, you'll see one of the world trees, which is pretty cool if I do say so myself. And then going over, of course, we have all the introductions, the preface, some of the more well-known writers and authors when it comes to Warcraft literature and novels. Chris Metzen, of course, Christy Golden, and Richard Knack. Kind of giving their thoughts and all this stuff. And one of my favorite things about the book, honestly, aside from the quality of the binding and the actual book itself, the size itself is really, really cool. I mean, it's not small, something that you're going to take in your I don't know, bag to chill, I guess, and read at Starbucks. Though I guess maybe you could. I don't know. I would be unashamed to do it. I would totally grab this and chill in a coffee shop and open this up and read it. Just kind of the person I am. But it's not a small book to tote around, that's for sure. But if you look here, before we get into the actual introduction, you've got this chart over here. Can I get this? Yeah, let's see if I can get this and still see. Okay, cool. So we've got this chart here, and it kind of goes over the different races and factions and alignments in the Warcraft universe. And so I thought it was kind of cool. You have the light, holy, the Naru up at the top, and then you've got all the elements, spirit, and the different realms and stuff in the center there. Reality, emerald, dream, water, earth, decay, shadow, lands, air. And then over in the different corners you have the different lords and beings and things like that, like the Burning Legion, the wild gods, the titans, the old gods, the undead, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of crazy that the undead are considered to be that powerful when you compared to the titans and the old gods. I guess they do technically kind of, they're back from the dead. Crazy stuff. All the different elements. So it kind of gives you a really actual physical representation of where everything kind of rests in comparison to other things in the Warcraft universe. Because really the intention of the design of this book really is to give you an actual reference point for Blizzard's stance on official canon lore, what the antithesis to certain elements and alignments are. For example, you look at the holy. Well, the antithesis to the holy would be the shadow or the void, void lords, old gods, all that stuff like that. Of course, you have nature. The Burning Legion is the antithesis to nature, all that kind of stuff like that. Or I'm sorry, the Titans, not nature. And then, of course, nature would be the undead, necromancers, and all that kind of stuff like that. Life, death, disorder, order, shadow, light, all that kind of cool stuff. So it really gives you kind of a cool idea of kind of what counteracts and what all that kind of stuff is. So I'm a big fan of this, because one thing for me, at least, that I'm a huge lover of when it comes to Warcraft is the lore. I don't really address it too much on the channel, just because it's not really the type of videos that I'm necessarily interested in making. Part of me feels like Noble does such a dang good job of at it. There's no point in trying to compete with it. He's one of my absolute favorite YouTubers. I love just like putting his videos on in the background when I'm just chilling, whether it's like leveling a tune or spamming BGs for the heck of it, or I just want to chill and play a game. I enjoy listening to Noble's videos for sure. He has such a very concise and entertaining and enjoyable way of summarizing lore and important lore and characters for you. Not to mention his voice is like butter smooth. So it does the book itself, the Chronicle, does a really good job of organizing it, this different things into different chapters. And so it's not like just a bunch of random information scattered throughout the book. I believe it does it chronologically too, if I'm not mistaken, which I think is really cool. And it gives you, like, in each of the sections of the book and everything like that it's going to go over, it tells you where that is in relation to, like, the opening of the Dark Portal, which I think is really cool, because that's such a pivotal point in Warcraft history. And so just being able to, like, kind of see where all this leads up to, like, for example, if you look at, let's look at this page right here. So we got, like, a new world. I haven't even gotten this far yet, obviously, because I just got the book today. But not only do we have some luscious artwork there on the side, the different dragon aspects, but if we'll take a look over on, this whole camera thing's got messed up, on this side over here, next to the new world, I really could do a better job filming this. This is my first time I've ever done anything like this. It tells you there, 10,000 years before the Dark Portal. So that I can appreciate. So I think the desire and the intention of this book is being really well done. That is just giving you the official Blizzard stance and timeline on canon, who certain lore characters are, what the different factions and Denzians are, what the different realms are, what exactly everything and who everybody is. So there's no question about it. And it's kind of cool that we're actually getting, like, a tangible, very physical, literal iteration of this, not just tweets, forum posts, and things like that. And while those are respected, because that's all we've had up to this point, it's kind of cool to actually have, like, a really, like, solid, concrete, like, this is, in a sense, the Warcraft Bible. Just very much like this is our story, these are our characters. And so it does a really good job of listing all this stuff up chronologically. The maps are some of the things I enjoy the most. And then I also very, very much just enjoy the artwork. Like I said before, I bought this hoping for some really cool artwork, and I was not disappointed. I won't show too much more of the artwork for those of you guys who get it yourself, if you're going to get it all, so I don't spoil it and all. But it's just stuff like this. It's like you see, like, that battle there between the elemental lords and such. It's just, I don't know, just the artwork, the paintings, the etchings, all that kind of stuff like that. I dig it a lot. And I think stuff like this is really cool too, especially because with Legion coming out, there's going to be so much lore attached to that. And there's always new races and new things that are discovered and released and such with every expansion. Like, not only do we get new content, but they delve a little bit further back into some of the old content. But stuff like this is cool to me too, because with Legion we're getting, the artifact weapons, and so attached to those artifact weapons, there's a lot of pre-established lore, or there's lore being written to go along with the artifact weapon, and they're constantly referencing, old characters, things like that. Like, again, that's something I mentioned before, but one of my favorite artifact weapons that we're getting in Legion, simply from a lore standpoint, is the Elemental Shaman Fist Weapon. The Fist of Rodin, essentially, and that was the one dude who fought the Thunder King, and he lost. And I think that was one of the points of lore in Mist of Pandaria that was very lost on people. And so just being able to see all that, and then going back, and because so many people do transmog runs through old raids and stuff like that, I tend to get lost in the environment when I'm doing transmog runs as well, especially in some of my favorite raids, like all this lore. Like there's a purpose, there's a reason we're going back, or at least at one point we had to go into this dungeon. You know, there was a reason we had to go into Encourage at one point. There was a reason we had to go into Molten Core. There was a reason we had to go, you know, into, you know, whatever raid, pick your poison, Karazhan. Not just for fat loots. I know, crazy, right? But so stuff like this is really cool because it makes, I think, going back and rerunning those instances and those raids a lot more rich, at least to me. I might be the only one when it comes to that, but yeah, so definitely a cool book so far. I'm looking forward to actually finishing it all the way through. Probably the kind of thing that I try to read a little bit each night just for kicks and giggles, and I might read even more depending on how enthralled I get with it. But we'll see. Maybe be something to read while I'm rendering videos. I don't know. But it's a really well put together book, and it seems like it's worth the money, at least for me. I believe it was 23, 24 bucks, something like that, 26 maybe. Definitely a little pricey for sure. It wasn't so bad for me because I had some money left on my Amazon account, so that helped cut the cost a little bit. But even if I had to pay the 20 something bucks for it, I think I would do it in a heartbeat, especially after seeing it and seeing the quality of the book that it is, the hardcover, the pages, the artwork, all that kind of stuff like that. It's definitely some cool stuff in there. So looking forward to reading that, and hopefully if you guys were considering picking it up, you choose to do so, because I think you'll enjoy it as well. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry for the lack of PvP content or anything else Legion related today. Just wanted to kind of take a break from it, just to kind of do some other fun stuff, because we do what we want here. I don't know. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me today. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Goal is still 500 subs by summertime, so if you'd like to help me get there, that would be much appreciated. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.